Hello and welcome in this latest mastermind, this time about Bing, the search engine by Microsoft. In this mastermind, we will see how to rank our websites and blogs into Bing. That is a big resource that every day has thousands and thousands of people coming in to search new websites. Now let me share my screen, please. Okay. Now you will probably see the Bing homepage. This is the search engine by Microsoft. As you can see, it's very similar to any other search engine with images, videos, maps, news, search history, and much more. Below you can find the latest trends. Just clicking this little arrow, you will see the latest trends. A lot. And you can surf the daily images. But what's interesting us tonight is to see at first the difference with Google. For example, link building and page rank that on Google are really important. They are not important on Bing because when you make a search, any search you can do for internet marketing or any other niche you are using, you will see that the rank sites are not having big page rank, and so may happen that a page rank 8 can set in 3rd or 8th position, while a peer 1 or peer 0 can be even on the top. The keyword density of your articles and pages and posts is the real fundamental thing on Bing. Because keyword density is the percentage of times a keyword or a keyword phrase appears on your page. So, for example, if on an article of 500 words you put 5 keywords, you have 10% of keyword density, and it's too much. You must place no more than 5% generally. This is just an indication, but you can search better around for this keyword density advice. Now the third thing that a good website can't miss to rank well on Bing is just the social media, because it's important, especially for Twitter and Quora.com, and even on Facebook and the classic social networks. Now, if we move on a tool, and you can connect to bing.com/toolbox/webmaster. Let me share it on the chat. Okay. If you connect to this URL, you will see this is the the Bing Webmaster tools. You can sign in or sign up with your Microsoft account. So you can sign up with a Hotmail, with a Outlook, or with a live.com email and access this website. The first time you access it, you are required to enter your website. And if it's the first time you use it, you get also $50 of free credits to use the Bing network for advertising. Coming back to Bing Webmaster tool, the first thing you must do is insert one of your website. You can just click on Add a website, insert your entire website with HTTP and your www website, and click Add. If you want to check it out, I will do it right now. For example, I insert alessandrozamboni.com. Here you can click Add a sitemap. Generally, if you have it, it's on sitemap.xml. We can check if it is available. Yes, it is. You can see all the URL here. Okay. So we can click on add, then wait a few seconds. Okay. The second step is obviously verifying the ownership for your domain name. So between the three options, I really suggest to use the first one, that is even the most easy, because you have to download a Bing site out.xml file, save destination file, and upload it to your website root. So let me open my FileZilla application that I use for FTP connection. And let me open my website. That is alessandrozamboni.com. Now, here I must move the Bing site authorization file I've got. You can move it simply driving it with your mouse, and in a second it will upload. Okay, now you can come back to the Bing Webmaster website. It says to check your website to see if the Bing authorization is online, and you can see it. So you can proceed by clicking the verify button below. And right now the website is added to your Bing Webmaster Tools website. Now let me come back to my site. You can see the two websites I've added. Consider this is a new thing I discovered just yesterday, because and for this reason some details will be not available inside the Bing Webmaster Tools. So let me try with Blog in the Box that was added this morning. You simply click it. Okay. As you can see here, you have a vision dashboard where you can see many details, but what I suggest you to do is to move on Configure My Site. If you move on Sitemaps, you can check if you have submitted correctly your sitemap. In fact, I have submitted it this morning, and I've got almost 5,000 URLs submitted, and the status is success. If you move to the Submit URLs section, here you can add a maximum of 10 URLs per day and a maximum of 50 per month. So, for example, if I go on Blog in the Box, here are all my reviews. I can select, for example, the latest one and copy the link and enter the URL on the Submit URLs form and click Submit. And you will see that the new URL was submitted correctly for Bing to find it. Now, your URL parameters can be skipped because it's a thing that works mainly for e-commerce website when you have a page to delete and so on. So we can move to crawl control, and crawl control permit you to select the exact hours in which you receive the less traffic than usual. And for this you can use on your blog a traffic plugin, traffic check plugin like StatPress Reloaded, and see which is your best hour that you can select here from 4 AM to 9 AM, from 9 AM to 5 PM, and so on. For now I will leave it on all day, and then I will check better which is my best hour with less traffic. Why it's important to select the hour with less traffic? Because Bing checking your site, if it finds it slowly, it will rank it differently. Instead, if it finds it with a few users, it can go fastly and crawl it with a fast rate and move it up on your search engine. The deep links, it's another thing I don't suggest to touch because it's a little bit difficult. So we can move to block URLs. This is exceptionally good for blocking access to your thank you pages and your entire download directory. Here you can select a specific page or directory, enter your URL, and decide if block the URLs and cache or just block the cache. Now the next one is page preview. Here, for example, you can remove your page screenshot from the Bing SERPs. But if your image was found correctly, you can leave it without touching anything. The disable links instead are important because here you can list the bad backlinks you got directed to your website, and it's really useful because in this way you can disable them. Eliminate these bad backlinks from being considered by Bing. So for example, if you ordered back in time a backlinks package from Fiverr, it's time to remove that, and you can do it if you receive the URL list. The next is geo-targeting, and here you can list a subdomain in a different language. So if you have a subdirectory, a subdomain, a domain or page in a different language from your original website, for example, a page in Spanish, Italian, you can list here by selecting the right languages and then clicking Submit. The verify ownership step is made just if you forget to verify ownership in the first step when you log in into Bing Webmaster Tools, but you can see by checking this green logo that the ownership verify was done successfully. Next, the connected pages. Here you can, for example, connect all your social profiles pertaining to the website you added. So if you have a page on Facebook, a group, or you want just to submit your prevalent and fundamental social pages, you can do it just there. Then there is an uplinking voice-on menu. This is to list your eventual apps you built for Windows or Windows Phone, in case. And last, a users section in which you can add a new user as administrator. For example, here you can see my email, my blog name, that I'm an administrator and I was added today. So this is the configure my site section, and it's important you pass all the steps and you check if everything was set up correctly. The second class is the reports and data. Okay, the first voice you find is page traffic, where it reveals the top pages receiving more clicks. Obviously, there was not yet data available because you have to allow at least 1 week to find your details to Bing Webmaster. Then when you see details, you can even export them, and you can even set a date to start, a date to end your search. The next is Index Explorer. And this is the section where you can check your entire file structure of the site and check some information about them. For example, this is my directory where I have almost 4,000 folders or URLs, and of them just 105 appeared in search, while clicks from search delivered 3 clicks. And he didn't found no inbound link count. Now, here you can find even the 301 redirects, the 404 errors, malware infected, excluded by robots.txt. You will find obviously the WP admin category and so on. The search keywords section show instead your best site keywords. Even in this case, when data will be available, you will see a list of the main used keywords, the clicks you get from the search engine, and where it appears on the search. For example, if it's on 15th position, you will see it there. You will see the click-through rate, the average search click position, and the average search appearance position with a median, and the served pages. Even in this case, you can select the starting date and the end date, even to check your progress. The SEO reports are good to discover which areas need SEO adjustment. New sites need to be scanned before we can show SEO reports. We update the SEO reports every other week, so check back regularly. Anyway, you can see the suggestions and the severity of the problem with error count, so that you can set your site to be optimally received by search engine like Bing. Then you can find the inbound links that show all the external links pointing back to your own content. Even in this case, no data available. So we can proceed to crawl information that show eventually crawl errors, error codes. And you can even export them, for example, to pass them to a freelancer to correct all those errors. For now, these URLs are not crawled yet, but they will be soon. On malware, you can check if your site is hit by malware, by virus. In this case, Bing did not find any harmful elements on your site. The third section is the diagnosis and tools. This is more general than the other section, and we will see why really soon. The keyword research this time didn't search inside your website, but search outside on the web. It's like having the keyword search by Google inside your Bing tools. So, for example, if we enter gardening, just for an example, you can set the country, you can set the language, and even the date. Strict instead will filter the results to show just the query volumes explicit to the keyword. In this case, we can hit search. And this section is very important because you will find some good keywords. And you can even search for up to 20 keywords together in the form. Now, sorry, but I restricted too much. Okay. You will get, for example, the keyword you searched with how much time it appeared on search, and soon the trends will appear. You have, for example, good keywords like olive garden. Yes, it works not really well right now. It could happen because it's in beta. Anyway, you can see many keywords and how much time they appeared in search. For example, home garden, nothing, it can work. But in case, we can try even with another keyword. This is a really nice way to search wonderful keywords used on Bing, where it's easier to be classified in the first position. Now we will see if it takes until Christmas to show these keywords or not. We will try later. I think I need to reopen because the menu didn't work anymore. It worked nice 10 times, I tried it, but now it didn't work. Okay, here we go. As I told you, we will see later how this thing works about keyword search. We can check Link Explorer, another good information given by Bing. Here you can search the backlinks pointing to third-party websites and blogs. For example, I can search, for example, HTTP I don't know, a random website. I can check even mine to see how many backlinks I have, and you can see it there. For example, this is Blog in the Box, Internet Marketing Italy, some of my website, and then all the external website. It's interesting to find the cool backlinks, cool pages, so you can insert even direct competitor websites or website in any category you think can be good for your next website you're going to create. You can even filter your site or find the URL or domains, set an anchor text, additional queries, and so on. If you click on Fetch as Bingbot, you can see one of your pages just as it's seen by the crawler. So if I enter my URL, you can see your page is completed as fetched as Bingbot. I left out the markup validator because, for my opinion, it's not a useful thing to use. So we can pass to SEO Analyzer. And here you can see which areas of your page may need work to comply with SEO best practices. I can retry to insert my website. For example, the H1 tag is missing. The image tag doesn't have an alt attribute defined. So 2 little error I can fix pretty fast. You can even check the page source to find this H1 tag missing and the image tag missing. Anyway, it's a good tool to set up your website and fix it in case of errors. You can even verify Bing bot. And here you can enter the Bing bot tool IP to check if it is real or it could be a malicious bot that connects to your website. And if you decide to move your site to another folder of your main website or to a new URL, you can select a new domain, subdomain, or directory and select if you're moving your URL from one place to another, or if you're moving your URLs from the site to another verified site. In case you flip website or do this thing, you can make this step, or just if you change hosting and things like that. Okay, we saw how Bing works, and this tool will help you out to get your websites on Bing and get a lot of additional traffic from the one you get from Google, because it's not always easy to get traffic. For example, my blog is just yet here in the first page, and up to 2 weeks ago I checked, but it wasn't available. Now that I discovered this tool, it will be easy to get it in better position, even for many of the keywords inside the blog. I hope you can use this technique for yourself or even for your customers, and I hope it can be really useful for you. A replay for this mastermind will be available on the group. If you have any question, you can post it right now on the chat, or you can even add it to the group, as you prefer. Now I see a question from Dave that asks, do the URLs all have to be from your site, or can you submit URLs for articles you wrote elsewhere? A good question, Dave. I think you can't submit other URLs because you have to verify the ownership. But in case, you can try to use one of the internal tools. I don't know. No, I don't think it could be used for external traffic. I checked it, but I don't think it's possible. If you like this webinar, you can even check the next webinar that will be about another good search engines. I don't want to reveal right now, but I will do in the next 15 days, and I will prepare another good how-to on how to dominate it. Many people didn't know this Bing Webmaster tools, and I'm happy to have revealed you these techniques. Thanks so much for your presence, to have checked my webinar. We will see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.